living?
I'm just in school right now.
Remember that. She's currently in college.
How do you pay your bills? You live with your parents?
No, I live by myself. I was waitressing, but I'm not working right now. I'm waiting on a job.
Okay.
I start January.
Okay.
So she don't have a job.
I'm just looking for someone that's honest, generous.
Generous. Y'all know what that means.
I like older men, so someone that can teach me things.
She like older men. God dang it. I thought we had one for the younger men. My apologies, guys. She like older men. I wonder why.
Mold me into a better woman. Just kind of a basic.
What's the age range you want to date?
As of right now, like 42 and older.
So you want to go 20 years older?
Yeah.
So this 24-year-old woman says she wants to date men 42 and older.
But you ain't get a doggone thing until you stand up in.
Why?
Just because I just like the experience that older men give me.
What experience might that be?
They give you better experience in what ways?
They take me to different restaurants. They greet me differently. They spoil me. They like to travel.
They got money. Usually the older men got money. Like your age, you gotta be an anomaly, like a rapper or a YouTube star. Like most boys your age, 23, their bank accounts wouldn't be the same as a man 20 years ahead of him in his career.
Where all you got to do is take him to the grass wall, beat that thing down, and send him back to the streets. Hi ho, it's back to the streets you go. She's a perfect candidate.
If you are an average woman, you get if you have an above average man later in life, he doesn't start that way. You get him when he's young. See, this whole high value thing has two components. Many women want a man who's already high value, or you don't want to build a bob or build a boot.
Yeah, no way.
All right, well, great. Then you go ahead and hook up with him when he's getting it out the mud, when he's living in a one-bedroom studio, and y'all get I call it an IKEA marriage. Y'all get that IKEA marriage. You know,
what is wrong with the one-liners, man? With the one-liners, yeah, we all know what IKEA.
Yeah, because you know it look real nice with his particle board and shit. Gonna get the IKEA marriage, and y'all do that, and y'all split the, we'll get one venti mochaccino frappuccino lot, and y'all split that shit. Y'all act like y'all doing something, one scone and everything else, and then you build and build and build, and then once he gets to his place,
they don't want that though.
Well, I don't care what you want. I don't care what you. I don't care what you want. I care what you can get.
Kevin Samuels basically said the same thing as Dr. Umar, right?
Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. What? Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
What Kevin Samuels described is what black women tend to lack when they're in college. Where else are you going to have a selection of upwardly mobile, upward trajectory black men in one particular group? This young woman is in college. Wouldn't it be best for her to partner with a black man while she's in college and build that IKEA marriage where y'all build together? This is the problem. This young woman just said that I want a man that makes $300,000 and he has to be 42 years and older. That's essentially waiting at the finish line for a finished product. So when we have this ring before spring controversial type things, when the white women are showing their rings when they're graduating, and we have narratives out there where black women are saying that white women go to college to find a husband, black women go to college to prove that they don't need one.
White women go to college to find their husband. Black women go to prove they don't need one.
Oh my God!
Now listen, as harsh as that sounds, there is validity in that statement. Have y'all ever heard of ring by spring? If you look like me, you probably haven't. If you don't look like me, you probably have, because that's a thing in our lighter friends community.
And I use this for this particular reason because I wanted to use her as an example.
How long do they usually last for? Like, the dates are cool, but when does it usually end?
It just really depends on the man and what he's looking for. Like, some men, they just want to date. So it's very short term, probably like a couple months, 6 months.
Of course it is.
But I really want somebody that's serious, that's really looking to like settle down. Like, I don't want to date.
Okay.
I would say that she's attractive enough to meet a guy who has a lot of money, but that doesn't mean that she's going to get it. She may get a little bit of it in the form of a nice restaurant, a little gift here and there. But in order to secure the bag by getting married to one of these high earning men, no. And she doesn't understand that. She thinks that she's going to qualify eventually for one of these older men and they're going to marry her. It's not going to happen. She going to continue getting used. She going to get the restaurants, but them dudes going to be running through her. And then when it's time for her to settle down, you know who she's going to be looking for? One of those upwardly mobile black men that was in college with her. We've seen this play out multiple times. One of y'all in the chat, because she attractive enough, right? I seen a lot of guys say, hey, yeah, she a cute woman. So she going to come looking for your ass. And by that time, she may have a buckaroo or two, because we all know that about 40% of black women tend to have children once they're in college and they leave college. So, stepdads, where you at? Chat, where y'all at? This woman, she gonna come and look for y'all.
Physical appearance, I don't have one.
Of course she don't have a physical appearance, because if it's an older man and he got money, she don't care about the way you look. That man gonna be pumping and grinding on top of that woman. She don't care. Sweating.
So there is definitely a phenomenon that is going on today. And this phenomenon is that women want to meet men at the finish line when they have made all the money that they desire. They can provide a certain lifestyle. They have already accomplished all of the things that they need to accomplish. They're super successful. They have all these accolades. And see, women are very much wanting to meet these men at the finish line. And you know why these modern women want to meet these men at the finish line? Because it benefits them. See, it clearly says in the Bible that women are supposed to be a man's helper, right? But for whatever reason, modern women believe that they're not supposed to help a man at all, right? And they're just supposed to meet a man at the finish line and reap all the benefits just because they're a woman and they deserve it. No, love, you deserve what you work for. And see, that's where the issues lie, and why a lot of men are pretty much remaining single and just saying the hell with these modern women, because why should I give everything that I worked incredibly hard for when I have a woman that doesn't even want to assist me or even help me to maintain the success, because all she wants me to do is provide a lifestyle because, oh, I'm a woman and I deserve it. These mentalities are so selfish in this day and age, and I completely feel and understand men's sorrows, because a lot of these modern women are a lost cause. But what I'm going to say is a real woman knows that she's supposed to come in and support and help her man at any season in his life. And if that man chooses you when he's at his highest, he needs to know that you're going to be there when he's at his lowest too. How many women can say that they would actually be there? Not many.
One thing I learned about dating the man with potential, those men almost always stay the man with potential. They very rarely become the man who lived up to that potential. Back in the day, I dated some guys who just weren't where they should have been in life. I stayed with them thinking, just give it a couple years, they will evolve and become this new man. You're gonna run into them in like 5 years and they're gonna become the person that you needed. Every case, when I ran into those guys years later, they were in the same exact position that they were in when we were together. There's nothing wrong with dating the man with potential. As long as you're realistic about whether he can actually fulfill that potential and whether you're willing to wait until he does.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCown.
Kobe's 81.
Kobe's
81.
We appreciate
Kobe's
y'all for
81.
tuning in. Out the mud.
Let's check this video out right here. I wasn't able to use the video of the original creator because TikTok keeps taking the videos down, but check this out.
See, women want men already built. Top of his career, money right, lifestyle set. Here's the problem. When you walk into his life after it's already complete, there's no space for him to build with you. See, that's where women get frustrated. They step into a man's life when he already got the money, he already got the house, he already got the car. Then they try to tell him what to do, how to move, how to lead. And then they get upset when they realize that they can't control him. You cannot control a man that has already built himself. Let me give you the hard truth. The best time to get with a man is when he's broke, when he's grinding, when he's hungry. Because if you ride through the process with him, he will never forget that you were there.
Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. What this woman is saying is absolutely correct. Now, I don't think you can ever control an individual, but I think the bond is built through the journey. I think there's a special bond built with a person who is with you when you don't have a lot. You can tell a whole lot about people that treat you well when you don't have a lot versus people that try to come in your life when you have a whole lot, which is why I will always recommend to men to find their woman when they don't have a lot, particularly young. 19 to 25, I believe, is the best time to start a relationship. I wouldn't touch anybody once I'm in my 27, 28, 29, 30s, especially not in the 30s, because in that point you should be going up the career ladder and making more and more money. So you start finding leeches at that type of age. But what this woman is saying is correct. Anyway, let me know how you feel about this. I'm out.
We have a relatively small number of men getting all the women. And we see that in the online dating world where, and the people that run like OkCupid put out a whole bunch of data in regards to this, which was very interesting. And they showed that, wow, a very, very small percentage of men and all the women are like, I'm going for that upper echelon dude. Sweetheart, he has a lot of women at his disposal. You're trying to nab a guy who could get he has dozens of women that are calling on him, and good luck. If he's a multi-billionaire on a private jet flying all over the place and he's got women jumping all over him, you as the potential partner to that guy, your work just went up exponentially. Always got to look your best. Always got to be worried about the other woman. So yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. It's good freaking luck if you try to get with the 1%er, not necessarily the best partner candidate, long-term partner candidate.
Yeah.
Men age like wine and women age like milk. The longer the milk sits on the counter, the worse it gets. But of course, you ladies don't like to hear the hard truth, but that's the reality of it. The longer you remain single, the worse it gets for you, because men admire younger women. The older you get, you're gonna become less and less desirable. That's why she can't find a man at 40. The idea is in your 20s, you find a man that you feel that you can go the full distance with, and you stick with that man, you build with him. That is how it should be done. Don't try to degrade him. Don't try to humiliate him because you're making more money than him. This is why men stay away. They're not intimidated by your money. They are put off by your attitude. For some reason, women feel that, hey, I'm going to wait at the finish line and I'm only going to pick the winners. First, second, third. And she's running after him with the 1,000 other women who want the first, second, and third.
Make sure we understand, man. Men don't care about your money. We care about if you can cook, if you can clean, if you can cooperate. Men aren't afraid to ask for those things. But that comes from the submission or from the cooperation of your purpose on earth. It comes with motherhood. It comes with being a wife. But again, we get more money and you make more demands. And then when we pull away from you, oh, you're not emotionally available. You're not communicating. You're not trying to spend time with me. I would be, but the more money I make, the higher woman that you say you're supposed to be. Or excuse me, the higher woman I'm supposed to get. But the higher the woman, the more headaches and trophy wife you become. It's more problems. It's more headaches. It's more demands. How does marriages and relationships benefit men when the more you make and the greater demand, the more problematic and demanding a woman becomes? And what we starting to realize is the woman we got when we had nothing and when we were broke, those were the best women that we got. All we can assume is those women loved us for who we really were. Those women were ready to build with us. And then when we got older and we built, we stayed loyal to these women because these women built with us. How can I respect you and see you as valuing me if when I get to the finish line, that's where you want to meet me?
All praises, all praises.
A quick question. Where are we meeting the men that actually want to date and be in a relationship? Because it's not the dating apps. It's not.
I have said this before and I will say it again. They are most likely working or home chilling or maybe just ignoring people.
Basically, I'm just very clear on what I want. There's a lot of boxes that need to be ticked. I know this man is out there. And it's just a matter of finding him. 7-figure salary.
Right.
Already said morning routine.
Yes.
That includes some sort of exercise with group accountability, as well as some sort of very high nutrition, I'm going to say smoothie. At least 5'10". I feel like that's generous. I need him to be obviously in very good shape. I need him to have a full head of hair. That's very important to me.
Okay.
Be a Christian, but not take it too seriously. Like, I don't want to have to go to church every Sunday, but I don't want to get into fights over religion either.
Sure, of course.
I want him to have an impeccable wardrobe. I want his suits to be tailored. I want him to look good in greens and blues because those are complementary to what I look good in. Absolutely no jewelry.
Okay.
Absolutely no tattoos.
Okay.
Unless the only tattoo that would be acceptable would be a very small tattoo if he were in a secret society at an Ivy League university and was forced to get a tattoo, that I would make a pass for.
He was forced.
I want him to be from a good family. I'll know what that means when I see it, or what more well said, I'll know what wouldn't satisfy that criteria when I see it.
Okay.
Never been married, no kids. I want to be his first wife. Our children are going to be his only children. No allergies. Has to like animals. I would prefer that he's a cat person, but if he's a dog person, that's okay. I think that's it. Yeah. How soon can you find the man that satisfies this checklist? Are we talking a week?
This is an example of a woman that men don't even get mad about because they very much know the reality of the situation, and she's not going to find a man that checks all these boxes or even half of these boxes. So it's not even triggering to men, but it's one of those things that you can't help but watch. It's like watching somebody eat something that sat out for 10 hours and they know it, they're fully aware, but they refuse to believe you when you tell them that is going to make you sick. You can't help but watch it happen and then watch them run to the bathroom and hospital a few hours later. But of course I have to put in my 2 cents because ladies, even if you were to find a man that has 2 of these things by a certain age, you'll have to make sure that you check all of his boxes. And even then, even if you do check all of his boxes, it is very unlikely that you're actually going to have a solid, long-lasting relationship as a couple because you're paying attention to the wrong things. These are the things that don't matter. Because what matters most is who you are as a person, who he is as a person, and if you're compatible, if you find each other attractive so that you have chemistry, and that everything else aligns so that you can build connection. But most of us already know all of this. It's still fun to watch somebody like this because we all know that in 5 to 10 years, this same lady is going to come back. She's going to have all the cats walking around behind her, and she's going to start complaining about how there's no good men out there. Lady, it wasn't because of the men. It was because of you.
So I saw a video of a black woman saying, can we normalize black men protecting black women? No. You want to know why? Because it was black women who turned their back on the black man first. You gave up on him. You counseled him out. You kicked him out. You, black woman, turned your back on the black man first. And now you want to have the audacity to talk about them the way that you do? After all the pain and suffering that you have put them through, there has always been a black family unit, always. Since we was picking cotton, all the way up until 1960. It was you, black woman, who caused all the damage that you did. And all that hurt and that pain and the hard work that these black men did from working unskilled jobs. From the law being passed for them to be able to go to school and learn a trade, to work skilled jobs to make more money, to provide for their family and send their kids to college for degrees. When their job was taken from them, it was you who turned your back on him for a check.
It's still happening to this day. To this day. I mean, the government doesn't have to do much nowadays because they have minions, agents of chaos, that is going to push propaganda when it comes to dividing a black woman from a black man, right? There's even trends on TikTok and on social media talking about how they're happier without black men. Meanwhile, they're chronically single, no man in sight, no ring in sight, and they're coping behind the scenes, right? Because when you think about it, from a numbers perspective, the best chance that a black woman has to get married is a black man. Okay, let's keep it real. So when you have these agents of chaos making these videos and trends and trying to divide black women from black men, talking about black men ain't this, black men ain't that, they're all in jail or, you know, deadbeats, so on and so forth, trying to push the propaganda to divide black women from black men. Yeah, it's still happening. It's still happening.
And now you want a man to come to your rescue. You didn't even try to save him. There was some black women that stood by their man. And they chose to pack up from these luxury apartments that were sold to them as artificial smoky mirror mirage bullshit. And they moved out and they continued to keep their families together. But it was a whole bunch of you that turned your back on them. So I don't blame them for feeling the way that they feel today about you. Know your history. Learn it. See how it was systematically put together to destroy and dismantle the black family unit that had been strong for so long. And look where we at today. That pain, that hurt, that suffering, those emotions that man felt when you turned your back on him was carried from generation to generation to generation to generation to today, where they can give two about you because you gave zero about them.
So they want to potentially demonize their future husbands, but then they want random black men that don't know them to protect them.
I'm about to sign the lease to my literal dream apartment, and instead of being excited and over the moon about it, I'm actually just stressed because I'm just so sick of having to make these massive life decisions by myself, and I have such an amazing support network that give me their advice and tell me what they think I should do, but at the end of the day, like, it all just sits on me, and I'm always just scared of making the wrong decision, and I'm just so sick of having to guide my own self through all of life. It should be so exciting, and instead I'm just stressed that I'm making the wrong choice. When does this feeling stop? I just wish I could share the responsibility of life and all of the decisions with someone.
What more can you say here, right? Being strong and independent, yeah, I don't know about that, right? Saying that you choose the bear and you don't need a man, I mean, come on, right? This is what's happening behind the scenes right now. I will give her some credit here. At least she's being honest about it, because as we know, women are using TikTok and social media as a digital diary. So we know their thoughts, right? We know how they're thinking. This is what they talk about in the group chat, right? She has this dream home, you know, maybe she's making a certain amount of money, but she feels empty, right? There's a void there. And it's because she's not sharing life with somebody, right? She's by herself. You know, she mentioned she has a support system, but it's still not enough, right? I mean, when she's by herself, when she's at home, and, you know, she has to face life and look at herself in the mirror, that's where it's going to hit, right? And it seems like it's hitting her in real time. But, you know, hey, on the flip side, be careful what you wish for. I mean, after all, this is what women ask for.
So tell me if I'm wrong, y'all. So there's this guy that I see basically every single time I go to the gym. He only spoke to me once, giving me some pointers on, like, toning up more, right? That's it. This morning when I wake up and I check my dating app, because I be on dating apps, right? It's him. And he's like, send me a message talking about, don't I work out with you every day, ? And I was about to entertain him and be like, yeah, you know. But I was like, nah. For once, I want a man to pursue me. And like, why is it that when you saw me in the gym, when you did talk to me, you ain't bring up that you was interested in me, or you ain't asked me, you know, what my name was. You ain't asked me if we could go out sometime. You ain't say nothing like that. But then when you see me on the dating app, that's when you want to start talking? You get to know. Am I wrong? No.
Yeah, so my opinion, I think she's wrong. I mean, it sounds like he's going to the gym to work out and to go home. After all, women said that they wanted to be left alone in the gym. They didn't want men to approach them. They didn't want men to ask them any questions. Right? They're there to work out and to go home. And it sounds like that's what he's doing. So now that he saw you on the dating platform, which is a completely different platform altogether. I mean, people are going on these dating apps to date and to meet people. He's basically saying, oh, yeah, you look familiar, right? I've seen you at the gym before. So I don't understand why she's making a big deal out of it. I mean, for you as a woman, this should be a win for you because you're familiar with him, right? You've seen him before. Women talk about their safety on these dating apps. At least you've seen him before, and it wouldn't be a cold dating scenario because, again, you've interacted with him or seen him in some way, shape, or form at the gym. But it sounds like she's trying to make nothing into something, and she's basically saying that he should have pursued her at the gym, which doesn't make any sense because women are saying the complete opposite when it comes to men approaching them at the gym, right? There's just so much mixed signals, and it's contingent upon if she finds you attractive, what she got going on, her mood, etc. Yeah, that's why a lot of guys are simply checking out when it comes to the single dating market because there's so many rules, regulations, and stipulations depending on a plethora of different factors, right? It's confusing for some.